Players using illegal means to win football games? Check. Teams using illegal methods to win tournaments? Check. Referees taking bribes to influence results? Check. You've come to the right place to witness some of the most snide and blatant cheating in the game of football. If you have watched football long enough, then it is pretty evident you yourself have seen moments when certain players and even teams have sometimes cheated in games. Even if you haven't followed football for long, you will enjoy the ride with the crazy stories that we are about to lay here. Let's start with one of the greatest ever cheating moments caught on camera. Listen, half the football watching population wasn't even born, or were just a toddler when this happened. But the moment is so iconic that it keeps reappearing on everyone's timelines every now and then. For context, both England and Argentina were well matched in this game. England were no mugs. Maradona was already the best player in the world by then, and England were handling him rather well until the iconic moment arrived. The game was in the 6th minute of the second half. Nothing much was going around at that time. Argentina was trying to build an attack, but it wasn't fruitful. Maradona was on a jinking run, trying to play 1-2 with Valdano, but England's Steve Hodge intercepted the pass and flicked the ball into the air and towards their goalkeeper, Peter Shilton. Maradona was already in the box as he was trying to get on the end of the 1-2 pass. The ball was in the air. Shilton came charging to pluck the ball out of the air, and the same time Maradona leapt in the air, and somehow Maradona, who was 8 inches shorter than Shilton, got to the ball first, and the ball ended up in the back of the net. Goal, Argentina. So, where's the controversy? Well, Maradona leapt in the air with his hands raised above his head, and he literally punched the ball into the net. Shilton and a couple of English players straight away ran towards the ref claiming handball. Maradona ran towards the Argentina fans, celebrating the goal like crazy. Neither the Tunisian referee nor his linesman saw the handball and awarded the goal. To this day, England fans feel cheated out of a possible date with destiny to win only their 2nd World Cup in history. As for Maradona and Argentina, well, they actually went on to win the World Cup, and Maradona rubber-stamped his status as the greatest footballer at that time. Oh, and before we forget, do check out Maradona's 2nd goal from the same game when he dribbled past 6 to 7 England players and then slotted the ball in the next for arguably the greatest goal ever scored in the history of football. Next up, a story so crazy that it had FIFA change their laws. If a player cheats in a game, then it doesn't make him look good going forward. But what if a whole country, and in this case 2 countries, cheat another country out of a tournament? Well, this is the game that changed the World Cup rules forever and for good. It was the 1982 World Cup. West Germany and Austria were playing their final group stage match, and both sides knew exactly what score they needed to advance to the next round together. A 1-0 or a 2-0 win for West Germany. And they sure as hell made the most of that information. Algeria were waiting for a favor from one of the 2 teams to qualify for the next round. They had already played their final group game a day before and needed Austria to beat West Germany or a draw between the teams or West Germany thrashing Austria. Once the Germans took the lead early on, it seemed as though someone flicked a switch, turning off any rivalry on both sides. With these agonizingly pathetic taps and jogs, the Germans and Austrians just started kicking the ball around aimlessly, maintaining only that crucial scoreline. The game started to feel like a testimonial match. The game ended and Algeria were eliminated. Fans in the stands were so embarrassed and ashamed that they were yelling, "Leave!" and Algeria, Algeria, that demonstrated their backing for Algeria, the country that had been duped in this shady deal. Commentators were so outraged by it that they urged viewers to abstain from watching this disgraceful fixed match. This damaged football's reputation so much that FIFA had to enact new rules mandating simultaneous kickoffs for all final group games in order to prevent such no-class incidents. It was a very terrible day for football and its fans. The fans were cheated out of witnessing a good game, and a whole country was cheated out of the tournament altogether. Speaking of cheating a country out of the tournament, the next piece is historic in its own right. When we talk about players going crazy, we can't avoid discussing Luis Suarez's iconic handball incident from the 2010 World Cup. The quarterfinal match between Ghana and Uruguay ended in a 1-1 draw after extra time. Ghana had a chance to make history by being the first African team to go to the World Cup semi-finals. Enter Luis Suarez. Deep into extra time, a cross came in from the right. The keeper came off the line and missed the ball. The first shot Suarez saved with his knees on the line. The rebound fell to a Ghana player, and his headed effort was cleared off the line again by Suarez. But this time, with his hands. Suarez was sent off, Asamoah Gyan missed the penalty, and Ghana eventually lost the game on penalties to crash out of the World Cup. Wow! After the game, Suarez stated, "I don't apologize for anything. I committed the handball, but their guy missed the penalty, not me." His boldness was evident, like he did absolutely nothing wrong. Ghana found their number one enemy for eternity. Next on our list is a scandal that shook the country to its core. At the time, Italian Serie A was amongst the top 3 leagues in the world. Maybe even the best league in the world, with all the great superstars representing AC Milan, Roma, Inter Milan, Juventus, and more. If you thought it was for a player to cheat in order to succeed, then boy, this scandal will throw you off. In 2005, Juventus, Lazio, AC Milan, Fiorentina, and Regina worked along with the league's referees to rig their games. Above all, Juventus was the most culpable. The phone taps that were leaked revealed multiple conversations between the executives of these teams and the referee organization. Relegated to Serie B and forced to sell nearly all of their starting players, some of whom were participating in the FIFA World Cup final in 2006, Juventus bore the brunt of the scandal. Other teams had their points deducted starting next season. This scandal put the whole game's reputation on the line. Due to rigging, the Calciopoli scandal almost broke the camel's back, nearly drove Serie A out of business, and continues to scar the league, making it one of the least watched leagues in the past 10 years. Speaking of leaving the reputation in tatters, the next moment of madness on our list is a humdinger. What happens when the protector of the game on field becomes evil? All hell breaks loose. Edilson Pereira de Carvalho, one of the elite refs in the Brazilian league in the mid-2000s, took bribes from investors who weren't even related to the football clubs to fix the matches. Edilson took around $4,400 bribe per match. He used to fix the matches in favor of the investors, and those investors in turn would bet hundreds of thousands of dollars on those fixed games. In total, Edilson Pereira fixed 11 matches, and all the 11 matches were declared null and void by the Supreme Court of Sporting Justice. Moreover, these games were replayed, much to the annoyance of the board members of the clubs caught in this whirlpool and the fans. Edilson Pereira de Carvalho was understandably suspended by the authorities. Edilson stated that the only reason he agreed to fix the matches was that he was in $15,000 of debt. Whatever the reason, the Brazilian referee brought disrepute to football and was fairly punished. Moving on to our final entry on the list, if you're Irish or a fan of the Republic of Ireland national team, then turn your face the other way. You clearly know what's coming. This is Suarez versus Ghana all over again, but on a smaller scale. Maybe. France was going through a tough spell as a footballing country around this time. France were pitted against Ireland in a 2-legged playoff game. The winner went to the 2010 FIFA World Cup. France won the first leg in Ireland 1-0 courtesy of Nicolas Anelka. The return leg was the one that caused a massive storm. Robbie Keane scored for the Republic of Ireland and tied the match on aggregate 1-1. The game ended in a 1-0 Ireland win, so extra time was needed to determine the winner. France were desperate by this time. After Zidane retired once and for all, Les Bleus were going through a bumpy time, and the act of Thierry Henry in extra time could have made it more obvious. With the game destined to go to penalties, France were awarded a free kick. Henry made a run behind Ireland's defense, and Florent Malouda's free kick found the French ace inside the box. The ball bounced into Henry, and knowing the ball was going out for a goal kick, Henry controlled the ball with his hands not once, but twice, and laid on an assist for William Gallas, who tapped home the winner to send France through to the World Cup. Ireland were robbed. It wasn't just handball as well. The officials even missed a glaring offside call in the build-up to the goal. Talk about rubbing salt on the wound. Following the incident, the Irish government and Football Association called on FIFA, the world governing body, to reverse the result, replay the match, or grant Ireland permission to enter the World Cup as an unprecedented 33rd team. If only dreams like that came true. Republic of Ireland settled with a compensation of a mere €5 million, and thus angering their own fanbase who believed that their association bowed under pressure, or worse, took the money and went home. No further action was taken against FIFA or France, even after Henry admitted to one of Ireland's players that he illegally handled the ball in the area for the goal. Till date, Ireland fans carry a grudge against Henry and FIFA. All can be settled if Henry manages Ireland and makes them qualify for a FIFA World Cup. One can always dream, eh?